Breaking news! Let's go Broncos! Something happened at Mile High that could change everything for the Denver Broncos, and nobody's talking about it like they should. A brutal loss, a terrifying injury, and one of the most shocking performances of the season have shaken the team deeply. What really happened in that game against the Jaguars? Why did Sean Payton's team crumble at home after an 11-game winning streak? And what does this mean for our chances of reaching the Super Bowl? You need to hear this. I have everything you don't know, and it will make you see this team in a whole new light. But before we delve into it, if you live and breathe Broncos football, like the video right now, and if you've been wearing orange and blue since the Elway days, leave a comment saying, "Go Broncos!" My heart bleeds orange and blue. Without further ado, let's get straight to the point. The Broncos' 11-game winning streak came to a crashing halt in a 34-20 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 16, and while the scoreline stings, it's the way we lost, and the implications of that loss, that really deserves attention. The first and perhaps most emotionally charged moment came late in the game, when rookie wide receiver Pat Bryant suffered a terrifying injury. Running a deep dig route, Bryant was struck by a Jaguars defender who led with his shoulder, clean by the rulebook, but the crown of the helmet collided with Bryant's chin, snapping his neck back violently. He had to be carted off the field, a haunting image for any football fan, let alone a team that had been riding high on momentum. Broncos country, this goes beyond football. We're talking about a young man's health and future. So do us all a favor, type those 13s in the comment section. Let Pat Bryant know we're behind him 100%. We want him back stronger, healthier, and hungrier than ever. Now, let's talk about the game, because what unfolded at Mile High was a mix of underwhelming execution, defensive lapses, and a few questionable decisions by the referees. On paper, the Broncos actually outgained the Jaguars in total yards. But football isn't just about stats, it's about timing, fundamentals, and execution, and that's where the Broncos faltered. First off, the tackling was flat out unacceptable. Over and over, Broncos defenders missed opportunities to stop the Jaguars in their tracks. Third downs that should have led to force turned into fresh sets for Jacksonville simply because we couldn't wrap up. Riley Moss, Talanoa Hufanga, Jaquan McMillan, these guys have made big plays in previous weeks, but today they each had costly missed tackles that extended drives. This isn't just sloppy football, it's a breakdown in fundamentals. This is football 101, and it cost us dearly. The offense, for its part, showed flashes of brilliance, but also moments of frustration. Bo Nix, the rookie quarterback who's shown poise well beyond his years this season, had one of his more inconsistent outings. He started strong, excellent in the first half, but things fell apart in crunch time. A botched snap between Bo and center Jaleel resulted in a fumble that swung momentum squarely into the Jaguars' hands. Add in a late interception as Bo tried to force a comeback, and suddenly the narrative shifts from promising rookie performance to rookie growing pains. Still, it's important to note, Bo wasn't the reason we lost this game. He made big-time throws under pressure. He took hits. He stood tall. He played hero ball because the game demanded it. And when you're trailing against a top-tier AFC team like Jacksonville, you have to take risks. The loss isn't on Bo. It's on the missed tackles, the timing of the turnovers, and the way this defense couldn't contain Trevor Lawrence. Speaking of Lawrence, wow, what a performance from the Jaguars quarterback. His ball placement was elite. Tight windows, sideline throws, perfect timing. It was one of the best games we've seen from him in a Jaguars uniform. 2 of his touchdown passes came on throws that were nothing short of surgical. Jaquan McMillan had blanket coverage on one play, and Lawrence still managed to thread the needle. On another, P.J. Locke was only slightly out of position, and Lawrence hit his man with laser precision. You tip your cap when a QB plays like that. And let's not overlook the referee issues. In the first half alone, 4 calls were blown, yes, 4. A roughing the passer penalty on Malcolm Roach that was anything but a head-scratching pass interference call in the end zone. Even Patriots analyst Brett Alper, who has openly criticized the Broncos in the past, called out the refs for their mistakes. When your haters are siding with you, you know something's off. But again, the game wasn't lost because of the officials. It was lost because the Broncos couldn't match the Jaguars' precision and discipline. The final nail in the coffin came after R.J. Harvey, who, by the way, continues to be a human highlight reel, spun off a tackle and ran in a touchdown to tie the game at 17 early in the second half. From that point on, the Jaguars executed nearly flawless football, while the Broncos struggled to keep up. R.J. Harvey, though, let's give this man his flowers. His touchdown run was electric, the kind of play that only a handful of backs in the NFL can make. His vision, his balance, his burst, it's all there. Cortland Sutton also deserves credit for consistent production, making tough grabs and moving the chains when we needed it most. But this game is a wake-up call. With the division still technically up for grabs and 2 crucial matchups left, first against the Chiefs on Christmas, then the Chargers in Week 18, there's no room for error. And while we've already clinched a playoff spot, seeding and momentum heading into January are everything. We need clean, sharp, mistake-free football from here on out. because what happens next will define the 2025 Denver Broncos. This isn't just about playoff seeding, it's about identity. It's about grit. It's about how a team responds when the winning streak ends, when the critics get louder, and when the stakes couldn't be higher. Sean Payton is no stranger to pressure. He's been here before. He's taken teams deep into January, he's built Super Bowl contenders, and he knows how to get a locker room back on track after a tough loss. What we're going to find out over these next 2 weeks is whether this group, this version of the Denver Broncos, is truly ready for the postseason gauntlet. Let's start with the most immediate task, Christmas Day against the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, they'll be without their top 2 quarterbacks. Yes, it's a game the Broncos are heavily favored to win. But let me be clear, this cannot be a trap game. There's zero room for complacency. Not after what we saw against the Jaguars. Bo Nix has to come out with command. The offensive line has to protect better. The run game has to stay consistent. And most importantly, the defense, led by leaders like Justin Simmons and Alex Singleton, has to tackle better and make key stops. This game isn't just a must-win because of the standings. It's a must-win because of the message it sends. Win this game decisively, and the Broncos send a statement: we're not rattled. We're not folding. We're still coming. But come out flat. Let a third-string quarterback hang around too long, and suddenly the narrative shifts again. That's the razor's edge we're walking. Then it's the Chargers in Week 18, a team with nothing to lose and everything to gain by knocking Denver off its rhythm. Division games are always dangerous, and if that one ends up being a win or lose the division scenario, buckle up. There's no guarantee that we finish 14-3 if these issues persist. The pressure is very real. The good news? This Broncos roster has playmakers. The ceiling is still incredibly high. R.J. Harvey is emerging as a dynamic backfield threat. Cortland Sutton remains a reliable target. Marvin Mims is developing nicely. And despite the recent miscues, Bo Nix is growing into this role faster than most rookie quarterbacks we've seen in years. He's had signature moments against playoff teams. He's proven he can bounce back. And that brings us to the coaching staff. This is Sean Payton's chance to prove that culture shift we've talked about all season is real. Great coaches don't just win games, they build teams that know how to respond when they lose. We're about to see if that shift has truly taken hold in Denver. Because let's be honest, this loss to the Jaguars, it wasn't a collapse. It wasn't a team getting exposed. It was a good football team running into another good football team and falling short. That happens in the NFL. But what separates playoff threats from Super Bowl contenders is how you respond the next time out. This is where the character of this Broncos team will be tested. And if they pass that test, if they take care of business, win out, and enter the playoffs with confidence and swagger, then this loss might just be the moment that sharpened their edge. So what do you think, Broncos country? Was the loss to the Jaguars a necessary reality check, or a sign that this team still isn't quite ready for the pressure of January football? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, if you believe this team can still go all the way, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next video that's on the screen right now. We'll keep breaking down every moment from now until the playoffs. Go Broncos! Breaking news! No matter the challenges, no matter the noise from the outside, we ride together. This fan base has the heart, the passion, and the fire that teams dream of. Whether you've been ripping the orange and blue since Mile High rocked in the Elway days or you just jumped on with Russ and Sean Payton, your support fuels this team every single Sunday. Stand tall, be loud, and show the league what true loyalty looks like. We don't just cheer when things are good, we fight through the tough times because we believe in the comeback. The road to the Super Bowl isn't easy, but with Broncos country behind this team, anything is possible. Keep that spirit high, wear those colors proud, and let the NFL know, we are Denver Broncos, and we never back down. So if you believe, scream it loud, go Broncos!